Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Continuing with this distinction of body and spirit, we ask ourselves a very fundamental question, that we understand that we are spirited people who have the opportunity to awaken to our own reality. But how is that structured in the life of our earthly lives? And how are we to understand that more accurately? We will say that we are performing our purpose at three different levels. One is at the bodily level, one is at a semi-body spirit level, and one is at a spiritual level. And they are maybe arranged hierarchically and come together as well. But hierarchically, because we see one within the human community emerging before the other, and then conjoined with the other, it emerges in the third. So the first purpose we are finding within humanity, and we see this as a reality, is the intellectual purpose. We are always discovering things to our inquisitive nature. We are understanding the workings of nature. We realize their connections. And with our intellect, we are able to exploit that. And we are able to use it for our benefit, our bodily benefit, to the extent that we have created light in darkness, dwellings outside caves. We have been able to conquer the waves, and we begin to explore space. We know how to harness energy from nature. We are also thinking of warping space to defy the limitation of the speed of light. This is our intellectual progression, and we can't deny it. It is our reality. But within that intellectual progression, we have also lost and shed the sense of false God. Whereas at one point, we used to be devoted to God through fear of darkness. By conquering darkness, we have left that side of God that was born through fear. Whereas at one point, we used to reach out to God in times of sickness. When we came upon cure, we lost the need of God at finding that cure. So as we have intellectually progressed in the bodily sense, our need for God in a false bodily sense has also reduced. The other level of purpose that we are witnessing, and it's a reality there, is our moral progression. Now, if you look at our history, it was unheard of that people of different tribes feel a sense of union and oneness with people of other tribes that they were often fighting and engaged in war with. We can see during the time of the Crusades, the way the Christians, Jews, and Muslims were behaving with each other. The Christians had banished the Jews, the Muslims went in, allowed the Jews to come back, the Christians went and retook Jerusalem, and the Muslims went and took it again. We see this distinction on the basis of religion in the past. Today, we're talking about human values. The modern person will not allow religion to dictate their discriminatory attitudes or to fuel the discriminatory attitudes. Today, human beings belonging to a religion will question the religion itself. That how can your religion allow you to discriminate? And I've said this on many occasions, that in the 80s, when we had the famine in Ethiopia, I asked my community to arrange a collection of funds and sadaqat And they said, but they're not Muslims and we're not allowed to give money to non-Muslims, religious ones. Now today this would be abhorrent, even for anybody to think that way. So in 30 years' time we've moved. So the second level of purpose we are finding is the moral purpose that we are attaining. That there are standards by which human being ought to live through and with, or live by. Everybody should have right to be a free person, education, life, not be coerced, human rights. It is human rights that prompts us to defend the Palestinians against the onslaught of the Israelis. And of course, we are very vocal against our own government. 80% of the British public want to see a ceasefire and restoration of the rights and dignity of the Palestinians. This is not due to technological progress. This is due to moral refinement and moral evolution and growth. So this is a second level of a finer growth and a purpose that we are attaining. But it is still bodily connected and semi-spirited, because we are saying it's not altogether body. The finest level of growth is what we are finding the human community right now in the purpose. And that is the awakening of the human spirit to itself. Now we have everything. We have comfortable dwellings. We have our sustenance. We have good transportation. A lot of people have luxurious lifestyle. They still say there has to be a deeper meaning to my existence. And this awakening is across the board within humanity. Be they theists or atheists, belonging to a faith or no faith. We are on the cusp of the final awakening and the final purpose, and that is the deep-seated spiritual awakening. That there has to be more to our existence than what we have imagined. It has to make sense in a very deep way. Today in New Age spirituality, we see these discussions that we are not our genders, we are not our colors, we are not our bodies, we are not sickness or health, we are not our nationalities. There is a much deeper calling. The only thing that is lacking there is a sense of personal God. They have not understood the value of having an intimate, directed relationship with God at an individual level and a communal level. They have come as far as this, and this is a very noble state at which the world has come to, that there is something beyond it all that is ineffable. It cannot be explained. All these states are arbitrary. We are not this. And in that, the modern human is finding a lot of reassurance, a lot of meaning, a lot of depth. But it is still yearning for a deep-seated connection that I can relate to at my individual personal level. You see, this third level of purpose that we are attaining as a human community, that there has to be something beyond it all. That is where we are coming. We're on the cusp of it. Beyond religion, beyond life, beyond gender, beyond body, there has to be something else. Beyond luxury, beyond whatever we have. We are coming at that. But still, in there is a void. But I need to feel my own self at the deepest level. And that is the final frontier. To peel away the final veil and for the spirit to see itself. That this is what I am. So when we talk about the purpose, we will say yes, the distinction between body and spirit is already happening, advertently or inadvertently. It's naturally taking place through the progression of human life. But if we can finally understand that yes, there is something beyond, but I am the searcher for that which is beyond, and that is the awakening of my own spirit in my own individual capacity, then that is where we need to be. And that level of awakening invokes God. And that awakening only comes through the direct involvement of God and direct relationship with God. A relationship that is beyond religion and that is beyond humanity, which is the deepest sense of recognition and self-realization. And inshallah we will conclude this series of talks with that talk tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.